Welcome to the AW Services YouTube channel. So this is my van. It's a 2016 Renault Trafic business. I need a new battery. For the last couple of days my cranking amps have reduced gradually. Basically when I'm going to start the van and cranking it, it's less powerful and doesn't seem to be as responsive and pokey as when you would have a fully charged or new battery. So I've diagnosed my battery is faulty. I have actually tested it because I've got a battery tester and it's way below its cold cranking amps that it's meant to be. So you know, it's dead. Also the voltage is 12.2 volts, which to me is way below 70% charge. So yeah, it's going to be recycled and scrapped. So to take the battery out of any vehicle, car, van, in my instance, my van, the best trick or the best advice I can give you to be safe if you're unfamiliar with vehicle mechanics, vehicle electrical systems, is 12-volt batteries pack an awful lot of amps. So basically it's like a box with a big bang inside of it. If you short circuit a car battery and ground it to body or earth, it could explode, it could catch fire, it could melt a spanner, and you'll be holding on to it to try to rescue your spanner, to try to break the circuit, and it can cause injuries as well. So the best advice I can give you is always disconnect the negative pole first. And the reason for that is disconnect the negative, so if by any chance you've got your spanner and you drop your spanner on the battery and it hits like the brake servo, or it hits the body of the vehicle or another circuit, it's not going to short out because I've removed the negative earth bonding to the body of the vehicle. So remove your negative pole first. It's also very key, regular maintenance, periodic maintenance. Check your battery, make sure your terminals are clean, make sure they're secure and tight. If they're not tight, they're not secure, they wobble around, you're not going to transfer the amperage from the battery to the starter motor when you need to start your van, and also in turn that could cause you to not properly charge your battery because you have not got a great enough circuit or a bond to the battery. So on a Renault Trafic business 2016 model, it may be the same on a Renault on a Vauxhall Vivaro. Basically 10mm spanner releases the battery clamp nuts, and you've then just got a battery securing strap bracket that's an 8mm nut, and I recommend for that you use a nut driver on a screwdriver or an impact drill, but just make sure you don't drop it, because if you drop it you probably won't see it again. So I've disconnected my battery terminals, negative earth's out the way. I've also disconnected my positive. Got an 8mm socket on a long reach bar on an impactor gun. Fingers crossed the nut should have a retainer on the bottom, like a circlip, to stop you losing it. But saying that, I've just dropped the actual nut adapter and driver. Me trying to tell everyone how to do things the best way possible, and I'm going to drop the tool I'm using. Oh well. Just goes to show that the world of YouTube and realism is very real. It isn't rehearsed, it isn't scripted. I thought I'd take you along for the ride and show you how to change a battery, because there are a lot of people out there, a lot of youngsters that might want to try to do something themselves to keep costs down or to honour a family member. A lot of teenagers may be out there, they may have lost their father. They haven't got that father figure to look up to, or that role model that's very familiar with vehicle mechanics to help, to guide them, to influence and to inspire them. So this video might help. So if you get the battery clamp out, you've got the nut that's released. Just try to figure out how to remove the other side of the strap. As per normal, it's never that simple. So the battery strap has got a bolt on one side and I can't see what the other side does. First time doing a battery on this vehicle. There isn't a Haynes manual for this vehicle either, and the vehicle owner's manual won't show you how to change a battery either. So just bear with me while I figure this out. Right, so the good news is the 8mm bolt that holds the battery retaining strap in place, that won't fall out. Not a fan of these Renault Trafic battery boxes. So on the battery box you've got a piece of black plastic fillet panel that comes out behind the battery, and surprise surprise, there is another nut on the other side. So just to clarify, to remove the battery in a Renault Trafic there are two 8mm bolts. I have got spanners, but I'm just trying to be lazy. So my extension's a bit too long, and my driver will go just in there. Well, after working on British Leyland vehicles nearly all of my life, classic minis, metros, maestros, battery straps that they have in them, this is like Fort Knox. Very good, very high quality. And my battery tray is actually 2016 as well, so there's not been any frontal impacts or crash damages and repaired parts from other vehicles. Right, physical strength is required now. So the battery has a handle on it, it's piercing. It's in this point now where you pray for your knuckles and hopefully you don't lose too much skin. Old battery out. Plastic battery tray, no corrosion, nothing in there that's going to cause any problems. New battery. You know, you're talking 25-30 kilos here. You need to make sure you put your battery in the correct orientation. Positive to the left, negative to the right. I'm quite disappointed in one respect, and I'll tell you why, and I'll be honest with you. Ordered the battery online through a local motor factors. I can't think of their name now, it's off the top of my head, one of the big ones. Put the vehicle registration details in to make sure that the system chose the correct battery. Also rang them just to confirm it was the right battery. Yes, yes, yes it is. My only concern is this battery, well, it's 12 volts, 72 amp hours. My Bosch battery I've just taken out is 77 amp hours. That's 780 amp, and this is 600. So yeah. Right, so when we do this, we need to put our negative on last. What I'll do, I'll put the battery strap in first. Yeah, so I checked and double checked the size of the battery. It assured me that it was correct. And what do I say really? I'm going to give them a ring when I fitted it anyway. As long as I can get my van started for now, for a couple of days, that's all I'm worried about. making a right meal out of this. Didn't think I'd make it look easy anyway, because it's the first time I've changed the battery in this vehicle, or this type of vehicle. I've done a lot of Ford Transit before, Transit Connects. Very familiar with how they are, but this one here is completely unique at the fish. And I've just dropped my socket and my adapter. And I've got underbody protection as well, so you'll probably never see that again. I'm just going to cut here before I start swearing. Okay, I'm back. Apologies for that, I just had to cut the camera or I was getting quietly frustrated. So the battery clamp, or the battery strap that retains the battery in with its two 8mm bolts. The one behind the battery closest to the cab, someone must have cross-threaded that before, because the bolt didn't come all the way out and I had to turn the actual bracket around. So I've taken the captive nut out for now, and I've managed to put another 8mm in the back of that anyway. So just going to connect the battery up now. So battery terminals are clean. Positive first, 10mm spanner. And once you've tightened up your battery terminals and they're really tight, don't over tighten them, because battery posts are only soldered, they're only lumps of lead that have been fused to the top of the battery plates. You can, if you want to, put a bit of Vaseline or a bit of copper grease over the top of the battery terminals and the nuts and bolts, just to stop them corroding with dissimilar corrosion from dissimilar metals. You've got a lead alloy, and then you've got galvanized, and you've got stainless here as well. Well, I've got stainless because I changed all my fasteners for stainless steel. I'm just checking the battery wire which runs to my split charge system. I'm now going to connect the negative to the battery. They are tapered battery posts, so if you've never used battery terminals before, give them a good study, whether you're installing a leisure battery into a camper van or a work van, off-grid, or replacing a battery in your work vehicle. Pay attention to the battery posts, because they are tapered. That means they're conical, they're a cone shape, so thinner at the top, fatter at the bottom. A bit like most of us men. You need to push down on the terminal while tightening it to make sure that it doesn't walk off the post. So you've got to be hand tight. Click, click, there we go. Right, so on my battery I've just got a floating, like a bus bar, negative earth bus bar, that I can adjust so it fits into the plastic insert that we took out. We need to replace that now. The plastic insert goes around the back of the battery box, and it covers the fasteners for the rear battery clamp terminal. This is going to be fun, getting this back in. So that goes like so, I believe. It goes under the negative earth terminal. And the negative terminal actually holds that in place. What a rubbish design. Cheap, built on a Friday. Just some alignment issues here. Okay, so the plastic panel that I'm trying to replace, just going to take the negative terminal off the battery again. So the plastic surround that I'm fitting now is puzzle cut, so it's like a jigsaw puzzle. It's got like a male and a female cut, like a notch in it, so it will slot into a certain position. So when you put this in, you need to start at this end towards the positive and then just work your way around the battery, and pushing it in, it should click into place around the rear of the battery box itself. I'm still hoping that I can find and recover my missing nut driver and 8mm socket that kind of misplaced along the line. Right, so negative earth. Obviously, when you've refitted and replaced a car battery, unless you're using some jumper leads or a memory saver, which is like a 12-volt drill battery with some crocodile leads on it, a small fuse that you connect to the top of the terminals of the battery, and then when you change your battery, you haven't in theory broken the circuit to your vehicle's fuse box, which means in turn you don't have to reset your stereo, your bass, your treble settings, the dreaded set the clock. You know, in this van it took me about 5 minutes to figure it out, and then it's probably going to take me the same again to figure it out. But yeah, the negative terminal on this van also, it's junk. I'll be honest, it's absolute junk the way they've designed it, because the negative terminal slots in and fixes into the battery box side. Very, very cheap way of a jumper. I prefer when I've got a positive and negative, really thick piece of cable, and I can just screw it onto the battery, not stupid bits of galvanised flipping metal. Absolute junk. And now I've got to tighten the battery up. Right, battery's tight, nothing's moving. So just to recap, when you take out a battery of a vehicle, whether it's flat, whether it's fully charged in good serviceable condition, remove the negative first, that's black. So then if you drop a spanner across the positive, the body of the vehicle, the master cylinder, brake line pipes, anything like that, you're not going to short to ground because there is no circuit, because you've removed the negative earth bonding wire. So negative first, positive second. Install your battery, make sure that all your fasteners, your nuts, bolts, screws are all absolutely tight and you can't twiddle them and turn them and pull them off the battery. Apply some copper grease, some Vaseline if you wish to do so around your fasteners, just to make sure they don't corrode. And then make sure your battery is secure. That's an MOT failure in the UK. If your battery isn't secure and rattles around, or Mr. MOT inspector absolutely yanks on it like there's no tomorrow, it won't come out. And also on the front of the battery tray, it looks like it's either, it's not an intercooler or an oil cooler, it's probably an ECU that's hidden down there with a fresh air cover that goes to it. Battery cover, Renault Trafic. Unfortunately mine's cracked from the last monkey that in the van, must have pulled on it too hard and break it. But there you go, bit of a messed up video, but it is what it is. You can see what I've done, how to install a battery, how to change out a battery on a Renault Trafic 2016 business. I'm Austin, I appreciate watching the video. Many thanks for the support and watching my channel, and I'm enjoying the content that I produce. Please hit subscribe, it really helps the channel grow massively. Hit the bell icon for notifications when new videos are published. Leave a comment, share it, like it. That all helps the YouTube algorithm, because YouTube algorithms don't help the little person like me. They'd rather support the shorts and the celebrities on YouTube. But thanks very much for watching. Until the next time, take care.